it can be a family member.
This meeting is being recorded.
Start over. No. That's okay. And it helps them protect what matters the most while maintaining their independence. So we have a scenario here. So we've got Margie and Claire. They both need, so just a little synopsis. Margie is an account owner. She's 76, lives on her own. She's always been sharp, organized, and independent. But lately, managing bills, passwords, unexpected texts has felt overwhelming. So she nearly sent some money to someone pretending to be her grandson. We've all heard that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then Claire is the caregiver. So Claire is Margie's daughter. So between raising two teens and working full time, she tries to support her mom, but Margie doesn't want to just hand over the control. And Claire wants to help without becoming an owner of the account and overstepping her bounds, right? So they both need a solution that respects the relationship and helps protect Margie's finances. And this is where caregiver banking comes into play. Okay? So the overview is basically we help you get staying on track with everyday finances. We help spot scams or unusual activities. We involve trusted individuals without making them joint owners, and the benefit from support but maintain financial independence, right? We're not taking away any of your controls or how you currently do your bills as the caregiver.
Can I add something?
Yes, go ahead.
So the great thing about not making them a joint owner, not only just so that you can maintain your independence, but also a good thing that some people don't realize, if you add a family member as a joint owner, it's as much their money as it is yours. So let's say if that person maybe needs to apply for government assistance, that could stop them from qualifying if they're showing as an owner on your account. So that's something sometimes people don't think about, but it's just a good thing to know.
Yeah. And if there would be an accident, somebody would sue them.
Yep.
Could they come after the money?
Yes.
It would technically be their money.
Yeah. So this is why care banking is nice, because it doesn't give them ownership.
Mm-hmm.
It just helps them review. And we'll talk a little bit more about that works now. Yeah. So sharing access with the account owner. So the account owner, like Margie, can log in online on their mobile banking. They will go into what we call a My Circle. They choose the accounts they want to share. So they don't have to show them all the accounts, right? So maybe they just want to share the checking account because that is the one that has most activity, but we don't want to disclose all the balances I have at the bank. So you can choose to just share the checking account. The caregiver then receives an invitation via email and they accept it. Access is limited. The account owner stays in control. So Margie stays in control. And this all happens digitally without a need for a joint account. And then so Margie chooses the account she wants her daughter Claire to see, just enough to keep eyes on things.
I may ask.
Yeah.
That caregiver receiving a message, is that a one-time deal? Or is that like every month?
No, they just get a link in order to enroll.
Mm-hmm.
And then
it's live.
Yes, then it's live.
Well, or you can stop it.
Yep,
You maintain control. So if you say, I don't want them to do this anymore, you can shut it down. Mm-hmm. And that person does not have to bank with Huntington. So even though this is a Huntington account feature for the Huntington account owner, the trusted individual does not have to have an account with Huntington.
And so they get an email invitation within the 24 hours. They log in so that they can get access to the account that Margie had just shared, right? So that they can only see what's being shared, nothing else. So if you have IRAs, if you have savings, and you only want them to look at the checking account, that's all they will look at, okay? So enough to help with what's needed, just to be able to see the account. And then when it comes to benefits, I'll have Sarah talk a little bit about the benefits.
Okay. Any questions so far before I keep going? Anybody?
I've prepared for all that.
Yeah.
And I've got a box with the will and all this documents for my daughter-in-law, who's the only person on earth that I trust.
Good.
Seriously.
Yeah.
But also the passwords and everything.
It's good.
So that she could get into all of it.
Yeah.
When I'm done compiling passwords, because that seems to be the heaviest thing in life, then I hope to give her the box with all these passwords. And I think that would keep me away from something like this.
This is before that time.
I understand.
Yeah, so this is to protect you if for some reason, because a lot of people don't like to go online. right?
Yeah.
I know my parents aren't a big on, yeah. You don't have to. You have to just so that way you can enable this. But if you're waiting 30 days for a statement to come in the mail, that's too long to
Yeah.
find out that someone has wiped out your accounts, right? So this allows the person that wants to go online or is able to check your balance weekly to make sure nothing's going on, rather than waiting 30 days for a statement to come in the mail and find out someone was able to get a hold of your funds.
So my question would be, as opposed to how I've been planning it and my circle, do you see any discrepancy there?
I think you have a great plan for what's next.
Yeah.
Right? We're talking
I do.
about now, but I think you have a fantastic plan. My parents did the same thing. They put it all in a manila envelope because I'm going to be the executor. Okay. They actually put all their passwords on a thumb drive, essentially, and put that in the envelope. So you're doing the right thing and preparing for the future for sure.
But it's sometimes not enough because if a lot of seniors, even younger people, can face cognitive decline, and people who generally have that don't always know it
Right. Yeah.
and don't always see that it's happening. So it might be good.
But did you say a card that is declined?
Cognitive decline.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, and I mean, this is nice because it helps maybe spot fraud before it gets too far. Because I think we all think that would
Right.
never happen to me.
Right.
That would I would never fall for that. But people do. That's why it keeps
Right.
happening. They're very good. I've had retired police officers fall victim to scams. I mean, and they were trained in that. So I mean, I know we all feel like, oh, that would never happen to me, but it does.
Yeah.
So that's why this is nice to have in place now, just to keep an eye, make sure, okay, account balance is normally around,
The
2,000.
box is for the future, but this is for what's
Now.
going on
Yeah.
now.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
the way to think about it.
Yep.
They sell a box, knock box?
Oh.
who what?
Knock
Box,
box.
I've heard.
Something, and sell it and then with all the folders.
Oh,
And you can buy the folders separately if you have a box.
Okay.
But then the folders.
But you have to fill in all the information and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just a help. It's just an aid.
Right now.
Yeah.
Right.
We wanna learn about it.
Yeah.
And that's what their
Yes.
specialty is.
Yep. So the caregiver banking gives the account owner the ability to share access on their terms. So as we mentioned, you choose what accounts to share. If you don't want to show your CDs, you don't have to, because you're probably not going to have any fraud on CDs. Those are locked up. Keep ownership and control at all times. So if you decide, okay, well, I don't like them anymore, or they're just not trustworthy anymore, you can disconnect them at any time. You're in total control. So you can get help watching for fraud, mistakes, or mispayments. If something happens and maybe you're in the hospital, you need help, somebody to pay your bills, make sure your utilities are paid, house payment, rent, they're able to do that. So no need to add a joint owner or go through the legal process for a power of attorney, because that costs money and everything. Login information stays secure. So you still get to keep your own personal login. Your caregiver, they create their own unique username and password. And with the Huntington checking account owners may be eligible to receive deposits like Social Security up to 2 days early. Well, that's a normal benefit. I'm sure you guys are familiar
So
with.
Sarah, before you go back, Mel,
Mhm.
receive support with Huntington online bill pay and transfers. What does that mean?
So when you enroll, and you get to choose which account and what features that you want your trusted person to have. You can say, I want them to be able to pay my bills that are already set up in my online bill pay. Maybe complete, if you do give them access to savings and checking, they'd be able to transfer money from savings to checking, maybe to cover those bills coming out. But yeah, that online bill.
So this is one step beyond you only.
Yes,
Oh,
yep,
that's nice.
yep, it is. It's absolutely very nice.
And again, you can choose not for them to
Right.
have that
Yeah,
step.
you-
That is just that if you already use Huntington Bill Pay and if a payee is established, and maybe you're going in for hip surgery, shoulder surgery, and you're like, you know what, while I'm out, can you pay? I already have them all set up, but can you make sure those checks go out and pay those bills?
That's
You can do that.
Yeah.
It's really nice, yeah.
Yep.
Great question.
Yes, thank you.
Caregiver benefits. So it gives trusted individuals a way to help without taking over. So they can view balances and transactions, monitor for unusual activity, potential fraud, or missed payments, pay bills to established payees, and move money between shared accounts if this option is selected by the account owner. Offer support without legal responsibility or ownership of the account. And again, they don't have to be a Huntington
I have
customer.
a question.
Yeah.
Those two options, are they separate options or does checking one enable the other to pay bills and transfer?
Nope, it's all unique. Yep, you can make
Okay.
it. Yep,
You can do one with the other.
Yeah.
you sure can.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
See here.
And then, yeah, if you don't mind, is there any questions from our virtual team?
Oh yeah.
I know
You guys have any questions so far?
I think they know to pipe up when they.
Okay.
Don, if you have any questions,
Right.
jump in or wave your hand or something.
Yeah. Feel free to interrupt us. Okay. All right. Support that works for both people. So this was designed to strengthen the relationship, not strain it. The account owner stays in control. The caregiver gains clarity and confidence. Both avoid the stress of sharing full access or setting up legal documents. It's flexible. The experience can grow with your needs. So maybe you start out, you just maybe want them to be able to maybe just keep an eye on the account or something like that. And then, okay, I know I'm going to be going to surgery. I want them to have access to pay bills during that time. So you can modify it as you go. So for Margie and Claire, this wasn't about control, it was about connection. They found a way to manage things together with trust and clear boundaries. So, yes.
This morning I balanced my checkbook and I'm at -$731. Now, if I had caregiving, my son would be able to take some money out of checking and make that out of savings and make that better.
If you gave him
Make it
that
better?
authority,
Yeah,
if you said you can have access to savings and checking and you can complete transfers.
okay.
Or if he didn't have that, he could say, hey, I just checked your negative. What's going on? You need help, you know? So it's whatever you want them to have, whatever you want them to be able to do.
So he could move money from his own account to yours?
No.
No.
Between
Between the account owner. So like if you had a savings with your checking.
Right.
And
Oh,
you
he could move between two of your own.
Right.
Yeah.
But not from an
Yeah,
outside,
if you give permission, you got
but
it.
not from this other caregiver.
Well, that would be up to the bank that the other person has, because the other person can always set up the Huntington person
Yeah, as an
as
external.
a payee and transfer money at any time.
Mhm.
But that's a
Even if it's
separate.
not your name.
Right. Well,
Correct.
the
Yeah,
only-
banks are give money.
the only thing that
Want
needs
to
to be-
deposit money in
No,
someone else's
No,
account.
the only thing that needs to be set up in advance is, say Ellen wants her son to have, ability to transfer money in. So the son banks at the Fifth Third, so at his Fifth Third login, he goes and sets up an external bank account, using her account number, routing number, account number. And then what Fifth Third will do is they'll send usually 2 small deposits to verify.
Yeah.
Ellen says, okay, I got a 2-cent and a 10-cent deposit, and he goes back and puts that in. And Fifth Third says, yep, that's great. Now your accounts are linked so that you can send money from
Anytime.
Fifth Third to Huntington.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And then that would be up to her son at any time, because he's got a Fifth Third account. Anytime he can just send money into her,
Her,
Yeah.
but not take money out.
Right.
Yeah,
and that's outside of the caregiver.
Yeah, that's
That's just a
something
normal
that
banking function.
anything
Right.
can do that, yep.
And then just a reminder in your setting, Huntington has 24-hour grace period. So you don't have to stress it's today. You've got
okay.
24 hours to get money moved into that account to get you back on track. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
There are some optional add-on spending settings. So spending settings debit card is an optional tool that helps account owners manage how support is provided. So the account owner can log in, go to My Circle, select the caregiver to manage spending settings. They can request a new debit card equipped with spending settings tied to their chosen account. They can turn permissions on or off anytime through online banking. There could be a fee for that depending on your account type, but the fee is waived with most Huntington accounts. So if you wanted them to have a debit card and maybe you say, you get to pick like how they're able to use it. So maybe they're only able to use it for grocery store or something. And you maybe cap it at $100, or you could just set their spending settings.
So if you wanna send them to the store for you,
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
have
or
to.
help them out, either
Yep.
way, I guess.
Yeah.
$100 at the grocery.
I know. That's not something I do groceries. I know. So how this works, though, when spending settings are turned on, the account owner receives the new debit card, and then the caregiver, if granted access, can set spending limits by day, week, or month, restrict categories like international transactions or subscriptions, allow essential categories like groceries or healthcare, adjust spending settings anytime with the option to block or allow all transactions. Those changes take effect immediately. So, after almost falling for a scam, Margie requested a new debit card and allowed Claire to manage the spending settings. Claire blocked international transactions and set a daily limit. So I apologize. No, this is if you want your trusted person to set your spending limits.
Yes.
So this is if you're just like, if you're really just completely not comfortable with the fraud environment, and you're like, I don't even trust myself anymore. So that's where they can help set your spending limits. This is more, in my opinion, this is more for maybe people with maybe an adult with a certain disability, and they're still on their own. So I don't think this is so much for for what our scenario has been, but maybe if as we mentioned, like maybe there's an individual in active addiction recovery.
Yeah.
So this would be where they say, okay, I don't trust myself. Mom, I want you to set up my spending limits, things like that. So this is where that comes into
What
play.
about a grandma who spends too much on Amazon for grandchildren?
Yes, please.
Yeah. On my account.
No Amazon.
Amazon.
They can do without.
But you also think about it, right? You come home and you're recovering with physical therapy or an aide coming to the house. And a lot of times I have found that people just give their debit card to let the aide go do things.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, if you don't go online and view your accounts, that aide could be using and shopping all over the place.
Easily.
So if you have your caregiver, your daughter or your son, go ahead and set a limit to only be grocery store, only, that gives a little bit more security for you.
Yeah.
Because you're not supposed to give your debit card to anybody.
Yes, it's a little tip.
But it happens.
If you do that, you may be liable for any fraud in the future. Okay, so caregiver roles limited by design. So caregivers only have access to the account shared with them, and their abilities are limited to what the account owner allows. So again, it's only access to selected accounts. So if you have a large savings balance or CD, IRAs, you don't have to let them see that. They don't, if you don't want them to, they don't have to. They do not have the ability to add new payees or request a debit card. So again, you're still in total control. So if there was a situation, like we mentioned, okay, I'm gonna be having surgery. I need you to pay my bills for the next month. You would already want to have those bills set up in your online bill pay. And then they'd be able to go in and make them. They just can't add a new payee, just to protect your finances there. They cannot visit a branch or call to gain account access. So they can't sneak their way into saying, oh, no, I'm supposed to be on my mom's account.
Mhm.
She said it's okay. We won't allow that. There's no visibility to login credentials or full account number. So they won't even be able to see your full account information, which is great.
Yeah.
So access can be paused or removed at any time. So Margie says down here, Claire can help move money or pay bills, but only within what I've already set up. I still decide what happens with my money. Okay. Great questions so far.
Yeah,
What other
yeah.
questions you guys have? Yes.
This started not too long ago, because I remember I go out twice a week. I want to make sure my bills are paid. But I just started seeing that circle.
The My Circle?
Yeah.
Yep.
So how long has it been?
Well, the My Circle's been there for a while because we've always had the access sharing, and then now there's a new account for teens.
Yeah.
But I think they're making it more obvious.
Yeah, I
is the
thought it
thing.
was for everybody. I didn't
Mhm.
realize what you're saying is probably not what I've been understanding from when I go pay my bills online.
Yeah.
So my question is, to make the distinction,
Mhm.
I mean, I would love something like that, but I would need to be clear on it.
Absolutely.
And the other thing is, how well has it been working? Do you have any feedback yet?
Actually, I don't have any direct customers that have had feedback
No.
as far
Yeah, 'cause
as
it's too soon.
it's very new
Yeah.
and we're the
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
bank to launch this. I'm sure other banks will follow suit.
Yeah.
It typically happens
Yeah.
with what Huntington brings out. But yeah.
And the other thing is, you've been reading that to us, but I need to read it to my husband.
There you go.
So
That's why she's handing out the brochure.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's see here, you.
You know what, I'll take that one.
Yeah, we have a few more. We'll leave a few more here as well, and if you want to share it on
Okay,
as well.
But again, I think it's not, it could be for many things. So again, if maybe you have, an adult relative with a disability that's still able to be on their own, but we want to keep an eye on them, or someone who's in, recovery.
And like we said, we also have it for teens, right? We have young people that aren't old enough, 18 or 17 yet, so they can start as early as 13. And we add a caregiver, which is their parent, right? To help do restrictions, make sure they're not just spending their money all on Fortnite, video games.
You mentioned that at some point, sometimes the caregiver becomes the owner. I was my mother's caregiver.
Yeah.
She never had a checking account.
Oh, wow.
She wanted to use mine.
Oh,
So
what?
I lost my checking account to my mother and had to open another.
Oh, you start over for yourself.
I got a lot of practice at that stuff.
So if a child opens an account at Huntington,
I was just
And
trying
it's
to stop
under-
saving, stop sharing.
Oh, yeah.
he's a
Minor.
teenager,
Yeah.
minor, the parents would have more advantage to be their caregiver status?
Yeah, they automatically
Oh,
are.
yeah.
Because in that scenario, they automatically are just
They
because they aren't
automatically.
18. So they have all of these abilities
So-
built into being able to
Because-
restrict the debit card. And so that one is automatic because they are not of legal age at that point.
My daughter is, her husband have a Huntington for their main checking, and their 3 children have accounts. And I just never thought about how it worked for
And they're all
them.
custodial
That's
accounts?
why I asked.
I'm assuming.
Yeah, the checking account ends up not being custodial. So because they have the joint owner, that's the only account that they can have under age without being a
And they can look
custodian.
at their parents' stuff.
Correct. They cannot touch their parents' stuff. Thank goodness.
I
Yes.
wouldn't trust.
Yeah, but it allows them to learn those spending habits early. It allows them to be able, the parent can say, okay, let's use
You know, I
this
said
money.
something to them about, well, did they give you checks for when you get your account? And they go, yeah, what's it?
What? I know. Yeah,
Why
I
would
didn't
you
even
know
know.
Yeah. I said, well, how do you spend the money that gets, from their little job or
Debit
something
card.
that gets automatically deposited in them? And I just cap it, I just cap it.
Yep. Yep.
It's gonna let me.
But,
It won't give us.
Well, society.
well, it's different. It's just
Different.
not than what we.
Yeah.
Well,
And something as simple, we do a lot of fraud presentations often, we do bingo and such. But what, my parents, and they're just in their early
saved
60s,
it
they
just
fell for a scam for Spectrum, right? They got a call saying, we can lower your bill. And so just as a clear, no one that is in the business to make money is going to try and save you money. So if it's a service you already have and they're saying we can lower it for you just with staying with us, chances are it's a scam. But they were on the phone with them. They were able to change channels. They were able to control the TV. So my parents thought they were legitimate. Yeah. And next minute they're like, oh, well, we over refunded you. We need you to give us your credit cards.
Then I would have been suspicious.
And that's when he's like, okay, this is it.
Yeah,
But that's how good they are.
It's gonna be-
Right? They are that good. They thrive on your fear. So they do something, we're coming over to shut you for your electric. Well, guess what? The electric company will send you a red notice before they do that.
Correct.
Yeah.
You did, or you
Let me go to your.
you missed the time you were supposed to come in to be on a jury.
Yeah,
So
no,
there's a penalty. If you don't give me your credit
Yep.
card right now.
no one contacts you.
For that
All the
one,
government officials don't contact you by
Yeah.
phone.
Oh, that should go.
Okay.
Yeah. Just make sure you pick the PDF rather than the phone.
Romance things,
Thanks.
Oh, romance game.
and she goes, talks to a lot of guys.
And that way, when
Can
these,
she get
we
into
can send
my,
it to our group.
Perfect.
because I
before I can publish it online, I'll put it on the waste.
She does it online or on the phone.
Thank you.
Can she get into my,
Thank you.
can I get into my stuff?
Is she on your account? Is she, yeah.
All right.
This
Oh,
is-
worked.
We learned.
No, because
As long as you've never given her your
this
number.
is
Yeah.
different.
No.
I want to understand your question.
My friend does romance things.
Romance, yeah.
That's not the trouble.
Online romance. Yeah, online men.
And you never meet them.
And I'm concerned that because they have her email, can they get my
No.
email off of?
As long as you're
Oh, I see.
As long as she's not sharing that information, right? And if you do get an email, just don't click on
Oh,
it.
no, I-
Just delete. Delete.
If her email gets hacked,
Yeah.
Yep, and yours
then
is in
she
there.
would.
Yeah,
Then they would, yeah.
yeah, but then
I
you just
recently
delete.
had that with
Would
the.
make you nervous though, if you don't know where.
Good question.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of sweetheart scams, all the promises of
There's
coming here and
There's
And
a
just-
online channel on YouTube or something where you can watch people troubleshoot those. And it's the same thing over and over and over, and these people don't wanna believe it.
no, because they have the
They know
companion.
me, they said,
Yeah.
love me, I
Yeah.
haven't looked at yourself like that.
I had a gentleman
Counseling?
that sent over $50,000 to one of these sweetheart scams, and he came in my office and said, "Have you physically seen these people?" No.
No.
So I said, "For $50,000, you and I will go to Vegas." And we could spend the money together and you'd have a lot more fun than what you're getting for 50,000 just by talking to somebody.
Well,
I'll be more than happy to go to Vegas with you.
You know, I was gonna say about Huntington, cause I've been with a credit union for a long time, but when I bought this car,
Access denied, they're not letting.
they
us.
wanted
I think
me to
it's-
finance with Huntington, and I said, well, all right.
You want
Well,
that?
it was Huntington.
No.
And my daughter's accounts are there and the grandkids. So now I could use
Maybe
Zelle.
Archie would.
Yes, I love that.
And Zelle is very nice for the
Yes.
family.
Instantaneous, but the biggest thing is make sure you only send it to family and friends you know.
Yeah.
Don't try and buy something on Marketplace
It
with
takes
it.
a little setting
Yeah,
up.
but it's so
I haven't been able to set it up with my daughter out of state because
her bank.
I don't see where I should. Well, you come next summer, I'll help you
Yeah.
do it.
Because her bank may not offer it. It's
It
not.
does.
Okay,
It
okay,
does.
good. Because Zelle used to stand alone. It doesn't stand alone anymore now.
Oh,
The only
really? I
way you
thought
can
you
use
had
it is
to
by your
be
bank.
with the
name.
bank.
Yeah, by your bank.
Venmo, you could be
Yes, send.
anywhere, so to speak.
Yes, yes, yes.
But Zelle has been real, the grandkids love it.
Yeah.
They come and do a chore and then want instant pay.
Yeah.
And then they leave the house and go to McDonald's.
There you go.
Any other questions about caregiver banking? Any
I
other
think it's very
questions?
useful to know.
Yes. Yeah, it's a great service that we now offer and it's just getting
Be
the
able
word
to-
out there. So
So be able to
people
tell a friend who tells a
does
friend.
this cover everything you read?
Here, you can have this.
know.
You're welcome to keep this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we tried to do that.
It's not letting us send the file. I think it's just
It's too-
safeguarded by Huntington,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like
Yeah.
it, so I could sit down and highlight and.
Yeah,
Get it
but-
to understand it. Doesn't work with me.
Some people, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Some of us are still paper people.
I understand.
I get that. I get
Staring at a computer all day.
I'll hand those out in a
Okay.
few pens as well.
All right.
Well, thank
You
you.
guys have any other
Thank you.
questions or
Okay.
even anything fraud related we can answer?
And
Okay.
your cards, don't.
And
Oh,
that's
good.
good.
Thank you. Thanks for allowing us to come and crash your parties.
Oh, that's good. That was well worth it.
Good,
So when
good.
we get a hold, even though I go to Amherst, Huntington.
They can help you.
I could, no, I'd rather talk to one of you guys. That's why I love to.
Of course, yeah, yeah.
That as well.
Huron.
Huron.
Yep.
She's my
Yeah, Brian,
You're welcome.
Yep, we're the closest
Yes.
together, so we always kind of we like to partner up.
Yeah.
Just so you know, the road's back open again.
Oh,
Thank you. Did they say
yeah.
why it was shut down?
No, they don't,
Okay.
but they, as you see, it's said it's reopened.
Well,
but yeah, absolutely. You can go to any as a Huntington customer. You can go to any Huntington.
Yeah.
All more than
There's
50.
one right in Ambersburg.
yeah.
Yeah.
And for million
Hopefully
dollars.
out by me.
The ones that are giving you the information, they're probably better versed.
But it,
Not necessarily,
Yeah.
yes.
but,
No, but that's why it is.
the ability nowadays to deposit a check online
Yeah, I like
Yep.
that.
is very convenient.
Isn't that
And,
nice? Yeah.
and like
Sarah.
he was saying, I moved money from
Thank you
the
so much.
my primary checking to Lori Credit, I put 1,000 over to
Well, I
my
did first mayor before.
Just writing yourself a check.
kids one, and then use that for my checking at the kids.
It makes it easy. I mean, I work at the bank and I still use double deposit.
I was at Northern
I forget to take my check. You know what I mean? I still use it and I'm there every day.
Prior to that, it's like 1998.
I retired in
is when I
97
started.
after 25 years.
97, so I started at Premier in 98, so that was my first start into
But
banking.
I'm always interested in the new product.
Yeah.
I had a niece that started, I don't know what I.
Well, you've got my call.
I do.
You're welcome. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you guys. It's nice to meet
And thank
everybody.
you for who joined us online as well.
That crow never came back.
All right, guys at home and here, we're gonna start our meeting.
Okay, now we're gonna talk about some of the,
I appreciate your visit.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That was
It's our
very-
pleasure.
and it was a good opportunity to review, you know, all this.
It's a lot.
I should be lined up for this, I should be aware of that.
Yeah. And unrelated to caregiver banking, everyone, if you do not have a joint owner on your account, you should have a beneficiary.
Right.
Okay.
Or POD.
Yeah, same.
Same thing with
Yep.
our titles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, if you have a joint owner. It's that, I'm not worried about them having access and suing me. I'm worried about me doing something done, and they sue them if they're joint owner.
Either one.
Oh,
Either one can get sued, right?
Yeah,
It's
that
joint
would be
means joint.
Yeah. And a lot of people think, oh, well, this is my account. I just added them. No, it's their
Yeah,
account
they're
too.
more likely to do something dumb than they are.
Oh.
But that doesn't, well, so you adding them to your account doesn't mean that you're responsible for all their money.
Yeah, no,
You know what I
no,
mean?
I
Yeah.
get that, because if I accident or something. Or suing me,
No, never be.
Yep.
they're online.
Yeah. They
But just for that account, they can't access that person's other account. Right, right.
No.
Right.
For the.
I will.
Yeah.
Let me get the door for them.
Yeah.
We need lawyers to visit us.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you.
Be careful.
Maybe we should make this like a every other so much.
We've got more stuff to talk about.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
I thought it was just for kids. When I saw that circle, I said, "Ugh."
Oh, yeah. All right, let's see.
How about look at the new account? You know, after being in banking all the years I was, I don't look at all the new stuff they do.
But you know, I might,
You knew the other way worked. Yeah, the other way
Stuff
always
works, yes.
worked.
Yes, it worked.
You're
It's just
not
that when
old
they
enough
keep
yet.
programs, then then you have to go in and study it.
All right.
you know what would make more
Please,
sense
then you
is
think
just
about
to
the whole
open an account, we
Yes,
get
yeah.
all your accounts. And keep it padded. And then give your circle person access to that account. I don't know that I wanna do everything. Mom, why are you paying for this? Well, I don't wanna hear that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the best.
So that's what I would do, I'd probably open an account just in case. Keep money that they pay for the utilities.
All right, so we're at the,
Okay, so we're at the webpage, lccug.com/links, I believe. And this will. Can you make it bigger? Oh, there it is.
that's good to say.
You need it bigger.
It's bigger.
And today we were gonna talk about some of the issues. There's some links, a section here on scams and so on again. And then there were some links to Tech for Senior, but I may put those at the end because if we don't have time, we can review that information anytime. So you can see some of the articles on stealing money, cyber criminals, losing your checking and so on. Are all up here, kind of scary. Throw away your computer and get offline altogether. I have to read too much of this. I was gonna say that the woman who's a president of another group I'm a member of, and has always been very comfortable with actually been doing our webpage and everything, but she got caught for a scam, all of a sudden there was an expense on her account
Wow.
and she got tripped up. She said, if I'd been feeling under the weather, I wasn't feeling good. I was tired and I just clicked by something without reading the whole thing. And all of a sudden.
Was that genealogy?
Yeah.
Oh.
So she was working with, I don't know, probably her accounts to get it stopped. But she says, you got to be careful. It can happen to any of us. And I know I've gotten messages and I start taking it seriously. What am I supposed to do? What do you want me to? And then all of a sudden, something doesn't sit right. You look at it twice and go, no, this isn't. So you got to always be vigilant. Do you have a suggestion, Nikki, on one of these that?
Well, it depends on what we want to talk about. We want to talk about scams or?
Scams or
Okay.
safety,
Let's
do one
all
of
right, well,
those.
let's see what this one's about.
Losing checking savings.
Or this one or the password hack?
Yeah, let's do one of the short ones to get us warmed up.
Sandy,
Yeah,
Sandy, can I
Yeah.
say something?
sure, please.
You might want to watch out for, there's an app out there called Cash App.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of it.
Okay. Somebody got a hold of it from my wife's account and attached it to it.
No.
Okay. And with that, they can do is they can buy stuff online and have it shipped to them. And it doesn't show up until the next month when that does it. And we're talking substantial money. Okay.
Wow.
In the 20s, 25,000 probably.
And they just were able to get connected with your wife's account at the time?
Yeah. Yeah. It was their son. I mean, I'm not going to pull any punches.
Okay.
And there's not a whole lot I can do about it because all he's got to do is say, well, she told me I could do that. And
Oh,
she's
geez.
deceased. There's not a thing I can do. But this, what these ladies were bringing up, because I used to work in the banking business, was very good.
Okay.
But the other thing with this, I only knew, let's see, September and October by accident, tripped across it. And in talking to people at the bank, and I wasn't supposed to be able to be told something, but they slipped me two statements and forgot to get it back for me.
Ooh.
So I could see the whole thing. And one person told me on the side that they looked back on this thing. It just wasn't 2 months. It went back to at least April of 24. And it probably went back further than that because of the fact that the lender or the bank changed their system. And so that person didn't have the authority to go backwards and draw up this. And I mean, we had as many as September, in October, 30 to 35 purchases like that.
What a shame. Oh my
And so
God.
everything was it was well under $200. And that's what happened. And so you've got to really watch it. But what these ladies here just pointed out, I got out of the banking business in 81. And I mean, it's just, if you would have seen then how many times I had a person come in to me as the manager and say, well, my wife died or my husband died, and he or she handled all the financing
There you are.
and bills pays and everything else. They had no idea whatsoever of how to put money in, get money out, pay a bill. I mean, it was like you were starting at the very, very beginning.
Yeah.
And at least like with this, somebody could be checking in, even if you only have a family member out of state.
Yeah.
And say, Mom, Dad, what's this? Or what's this going on?
Mhm.
On the whole thing. plus with the account I have now, my Social Security, interest, my retirement, it's all comes in, and the day it goes into my account, I get an email. You got a deposit of, and that's what it is. But I mean, scamming today is, I mean, when I was back in there, the idea of a scam was somebody would put a lady's pantyhose inside the night deposit and tape after dark so you couldn't see it. Then they come back before daylight and take it out and take all the envelopes. That was about it. But today it's like, hang on, because you're gonna learn stuff you didn't know.
Oh my
You
God.
didn't think people could do. And
I mean,
they're
it's
wrong.
convenient in a way for a lot of people, but it's just so vulnerable.
Just like anything, really. I mean, they create these things for good, and then the crooks come in and turn it to bad. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Could I ask one other question? I
Sure.
have to be out of here by noon. I have to go
Sure.
to East Cleveland. At our church, we've been trying to videotape, and we put on Facebook, which I don't belong to. And if there's anybody in the club that can give me a hand or anything of ideas, because I'm just fighting with that thing every time trying to do it for them.
On how to put up their information, their Facebook page online.
we talking about.
Oh, no. How we videotape the service
Oh,
live at the
recording.
time there. And it seems it's one problem after another.
Okay, so you already have the video file, and then you just want to post it?
Yeah, we make it. We started off at the beginning of the service, and it goes out live.
Right.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
it's first live.
Okay,
And
at that time, and then later in
also
the day,
recorded.
we put it up on YouTube too. But it's like there's always things coming up. This thing has changed, or that thing has changed.
Well, maybe Mickey could work online with you after this,
'cause I'm not sure about,
because
I've never done anything on Facebook, but I mean, I post.
Well, you're right. That's the problem. Okay.
Yeah,
no,
I don't put it on Facebook. I put it on YouTube.
Oh.
I mean, we could probably figure it out, but so you actually have the video file, or you just doing the live stream? We must have the video file if you're putting it up on YouTube.
Yeah, the person that was doing it is off for a while, and I've had to take over, and I've been doing it. It's just like it's one change after another, and then when you're putting it up on the computer, it's going up. Then the computer wants to update all of a sudden. Can't get those things shut down without messing up everything else, and it just seems like it doesn't always work the same.
Well, according to AI, if you're looking at it, click the photo, video, and what's on your mind, and select your video file and click post. And it seems like it's as easy as.
Sounds easy, doesn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
When the screen doesn't pop up with, well, where's this one? And it's you're jumping from one thing to another, and like on one page, it's up in the left. You had to do 3 things. Okay, you get the first one done, no problem. You got the second one. It's not even on the screen. You got to scroll way down to find this thing, and then make sure that you put in a title and all this other stuff. And it's like frustrating as all get out. I love it. We've gotten great response from it. When I had my wife's funeral at the church, let's see, I had 8 people from across the country that couldn't come for the funeral, but they were all able to view it, which is great.
No, that's nice, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a nice thing, but boy, frustrating. And if I had some hair, I'd pull it out, but I don't have any extra, so it's just you try to deal with it all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I just appreciate it. I want to take up the time, and I'd say those 2 ladies were great. They really were, and
Yeah,
that's a service that you probably should look into.
I thought so too. Hang on a minute here, because it looks like, where are we going here? Facebook. Okay. Are you seeing this on your screen there, Cliff?
Yes.
So it says here, according to this, you just live video. Photo, video. So we click on this one apparently.
No, you click on the live video. It says, what do you want to do? Okay.
No, we don't want to do the live video, because if you have the file, we want to send the file. So
you're sending the file afterwards.
Right. So here.
No, this is during. But,
But
yeah,
I think,
I don't think I'd have problem with YouTube if I know I can get this up.
Oh, you're doing live to YouTube as well?
Well, not to YouTube, just to Facebook, and then they send the file up. Somebody does for me the
Okay,
next day.
well, again, see that file is what I'm talking about. That same file you're sending to
yeah, don't
YouTube,
go to the.
send that to Facebook with this. Just click
No,
on
that's
that.
no, Nikki. What you do is you go to that. You want to go live, and that's what you do. You're live, and then I started once we get everything taken
Right,
care
but
of.
my point is, once it's done, in order to post it, I would send it as a file. Because you say you have the file because you send it to YouTube.
Yeah, afterwards.
Right. So afterwards, post it the same way to Facebook.
Yeah, no, that's not the problem. It's getting the video taped without one thing after another popping up or.
Oh, so you want the live to work, not okay.
Yes. If I get it there, I'm fine.
Oh,
But
okay.
Okay, let's
yeah.
have you guys meet,
Yeah, we'll have to do
based
that.
on this afterwards.
Okay, I just appreciate it very much.
It's
Thank you.
interesting that that's being
Right.
done in the churches, I know.
Right.
Yeah, and it's great. I didn't think it would be too, but like I say, 8 people from across the country
Oh,
were
that-
able to see the service. Health reasons or something was too far to come for one day.
Right.
Was able to see that, and which to me that's just great
Yeah, that is cool.
on the whole thing. But boy, frustration trying to do it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yeah, Cliff, we'll get you together with Mickey later.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, so we're done with that one. We want to go to this little.
So we were gonna go watch
this one here. Oh, no, the password habits.
Yeah, you pick.
Well, you said you wanted something short.
I'm sure, one of the shorties.
All right, let's see here.
Password habits. Many cybercriminals exploit. It's strange how predictable people can be with passwords. Here are some risky password habits that cybercriminals often exploit so you can ensure your passwords are safer. Seasonal word plus current year plus punctuation. Every few months, people switch to something like winter 2025 or spring 2024 because they think it's smart. As such, you should never use anything so obvious for your password. Bumping the ending number on the same base. Some people rotate their passwords by changing the number, like turning road trip 1 into road trip 2. They think they're being responsible by changing it up, but attackers just run every number in a row until one sticks. Keyboard walks. A bunch of letters.
What? Oh, ads.
That was a crook.
We got scammed.
That's a crook.
We got.
Doesn't want us to know their secrets.
Stupid ad.
Was there really an ad or?
Well, that's. I don't know why.
They could show us 3 minutes without putting an ad in.
Yeah,
For real.
I was responding.
We'll go back and we'll just.
All right. Close that turn again. We would do that again, or we would try something different.
Either way.
Give it a shot.
Okay.
See if you can slide over to. Yeah, right about there.
Tender wraps, shake,
Oh.
rattle and snack.
Mr. Heroes new chicken tenders and
That's all
wraps
right,
will
let it
shake
go.
and rattle your taste. Keyboard walks. A bunch of letters like 1QAZ to WSX look random at first glance. Passwords like AZXCVVBNM or ASDFGH appear millions of times in leaks, right next to QWERTY, of course. Capital first, exclamation last. A password that starts with a capital letter and ends with an exclamation point is far too obvious. Use capital letters at random moments in your password instead. Exactly 8 characters. 8 characters used to be good enough, but these days it's the bare minimum. Most stolen passwords fall right at 8. The longer the password, the more secure it is. As long as you can remember it all, though. Admin on admin portals. Admin 123. Admin and administrator all pop up far too often, and that's why attackers run those right away. You should never use this word in your password. L33T swaps of obvious words. Replacing letters with symbols like @ for A, 0 for O, and $sign for S creates tired variants that cracking tools generate automatically. Never rely on words or their leet replacements. Reversed words and case toggles. Flipping a word backward or reversing the capitalization doesn't make your password original. Password engines auto-create those flips from a simple dictionary list and will recognize that password is just drowsap. Near-miss typos and neighbor key swaps. Typos get people into trouble, and simple mistakes, like missing a letter or hitting the key beside the one you meant, produce many common variants. These include words like passrod or admin. Base password plus the site's initials or domain. A few people tack a short site tag on the end of their favorite password, like SunnyDayYT for a YouTube password or SunnyDayM for their email.
Yes, passwords, and they keep saying these passcodes and everything else are passkeys are gonna take, and I still don't see those being the answer.
Yeah, especially when the fallback is to use password anyway. I mean, I can understand how they would be helpful so you would not get hacked or password breached in the first place if someone's got a keylogger or whatever on your system and you're using a passkey. That would help that. But anybody out there just trying randomly your username and some passwords is still going to be able to get in even if you have a passkey because the password still works. I don't know if you guys understand what I mean, so if you're trying to log into, like, say, Gmail, you're trying to log into Gmail and Gmail will send you a passkey instead of asking for your password. That will help that particular instance. Nobody who is monitoring your PC online or something like that can see the password that you're typing because you're not typing a password, you're using the passkey. So in that respect, yes, it's helpful. But anybody out there who is just saying, okay, we know Margie uses margie@gmail.com, and I'm going to try all different kinds of passwords and eventually get in. That won't help that situation because the password still exists as a backup to the passkey. Is that helpful? Okay. Somebody want to come in?
Danny,
Oh, nice.
he missed our
Yeah, the good part. Oh, well.
one.
That's
Well, we
right.
got a tape, we got a tape of it. We'll
Yeah.
most of it.
Except for the beginning. I got this.
I'm no good at reminding you. Anyway, okay, so for one time of this program, an earlier meeting, we showed a comedian's sketch
Mhm.
on how people choose their password.
Oh, right.
Do you remember that?
Yeah,
That was kind of clever.
Yeah, let's see here. I don't remember.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what it was called.
I can't remember. I know we had to take it out of the YouTube recording. Yeah, I don't think that.
Anyway, let's maybe look at one of the others on our list. I could
Well, there's some articles down here too,
Okay.
about scams and security and things like that.
Please.
So I would recommend you read these on your own time. I don't know, we want to listen to see what about the trust fund of the Social Security, or want to stay on scams, or what?
how long is it?
4 minutes for this.
Okay, let's do that.
All right. This from AARP. Oh, it's so stupid. Skip. There it is.
More than 70 million Americans receive Social Security every month. It's what people count on to help pay their bills in retirement. And for more than 90 years, Social Security hasn't missed a payment. So where does the money come from? Social Security is a self-funded system that's distinct from the rest of the federal budget. Around 90% of the money for Social Security payments comes from payroll taxes paid by American workers and their employers. On your pay stub, it's listed as FICA, for Federal Insurance Contributions Act, or OASDI, which stands for Old Age Survivors and Disability Insurance. The rest of the funding for Social Security, around 10%, comes from the Social Security Trust Fund and income taxes that some people pay on their Social Security. Something else to know is that it's the money from current payroll taxes that funds monthly Social Security payments to retirees and their beneficiaries. This is what's called a pay-as-you-go system. The money comes in through payroll taxes and goes out again as monthly payments. That's why Social Security will never go broke, as some have claimed. As long as there are workers and employers paying into the system, Social Security will always be here. But that doesn't mean there aren't challenges coming down the pike. For decades, Social Security took in more money than it needed to pay everyone's earned benefits. There were more workers contributing to the system for each person getting Social Security. The extra funds were saved in the Social Security Trust Fund, kind of like Social Security's savings account that is separate from the rest of the federal budget. Now, there aren't as many workers paying in for each beneficiary as there used to be. This means that Social Security doesn't have quite enough money coming in to fully fund what current retirees have earned. Right now, it's about 5% short. To make up the difference, the government is slowly drawing down the trust fund reserves, the extra money that was collected through payroll taxes but wasn't needed for Social Security payments until now. These reserves are expected to run out in 2034. This doesn't mean Social Security payments will stop. As long as payroll taxes are being collected, Social Security continues making payments. Today, 184 million people are paying into Social Security, and that number will be higher in 10 years, enough to pay around 80% of benefits. So once the trust fund reserves have been exhausted, Congress will need to take action to make up the difference so retirees get 100% of their earned benefits. The bottom line, Social Security isn't going anywhere. It needs some attention from Congress, but the system is designed to keep making payments. The good news is that Congress has a lot of options to fix this problem and make sure that Americans get the benefits that we've earned. You can follow our coverage on all things Social Security at aarp.org/Social Security. And if you want to join AARP in our work to protect Social Security for current and future retirees, you can sign up to join the fight. Please leave any social.
If Congress couldn't work together to get anything done, we'll be all set.
Alright, so do we want to show that video again about the password scam thing or
Yes,
password, changing the password? Okay. I will have to pause the recording because as you see, last time we did this, we had to get rid of it out of the YouTube recording because of copyright, so.
No.
I'm gonna pause the recording and we can go down here. It's on the January links list from Michael McIntyre.
And think back now that the internet is so much a part of our lives. Think back to our first password, because our minds, our brains are so filled with passwords. It's such a struggle for us to remember all the passwords. We go to businesses online and you go, I can't remember my password. And you push it, sometimes they lock you out. And they go, no, you've got one more try to remember your own password. You fucking idiot. Or you click, I forgot it, and they ask you questions about your life and you don't even remember the answers. What is your favorite pet? Oh no, I can't believe I chose one. Someone walks in. If it doesn't mean I'm leaving, I'm literally walking out the door. Oh, the password. And at the beginning, we all had one password. It was our first password. We can nostalgically remember. And we used it for everything every time we tried another business. Can I have a password? Yes, you can. That is my special word. And then you started to get quite rude. You would put your password in and it would go weak. This is my special word. And then I'm sorry, but the internet has become very popular. We need to strengthen your password. And businesses would insist we must have from you a capital letter. I'm sorry, you will not be accepting passwords anymore unless it contains at least one capital letter. And we all momentarily considered our options before deciding to capitalize the first letter of our password. For a period of time, that was fine. But the internet became even more popular. And then businesses started to say, I'm afraid you cannot join. unless you have at least one capital letter and at least one number. In less than half a microsecond's consideration before we collectively decided you shall be getting the number one in the end. Last year, for a period of time, this was acceptable until a whole new, unexpected, and exciting dawn emerged. A world of special characters. We didn't even know what they were. And businesses would say, we need a capital letter. We need a number, but we will also require a special character. And we clicked on the budget. Please, can I have some examples of these special characters which you now insist upon? And we perused them. There they are. I had no idea these characters were so special until all of our eyes stopped upon the exclamation mark. At the end of our now capitalized password, just after the one. And it's at this moment that everybody at the London Palladium is thinking, I should probably change my password. It's too hot. And it's normally our own fault. We don't have time to wait. When we run the hot tab, we run the code, we don't have time to wait for the full proper temperature to reveal itself. Just have it, that should be fine.
What
You
is
go
this?
with very busy, man. You go with
That's something
You're
different.
not, you know, it's too-
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that was fun.
So how to get somebody's password, you know, big capitalized.
Stale accounts making, like I have
Oh, what?
old stale accounts, like years ago, you signed in.
Stale accounts, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, stale.
Oh, okay, okay.
I signed into some account, I don't remember.
Yeah, okay.
Like limited, it's not even in, store anymore, so can they go in there and get information about me?
I don't know if they have, if somebody were to break into that account and you have information on your account about yourself, yes, they could do that. Chances I probably won't, you know, and again, depending on what account you set up, you know, there you might not have any information on you. You know, yeah, a lot of times when I sign up for an account that I'm not expected to be using for any personal use, I'll use one of my alter egos like Frank Shore or Fred Flintstone or whatever, and put in all kinds of if they want it, I'll put in all kinds of fake stuff because I don't care. You know, if anybody breaks in, who cares? They're getting Fred Flintstone's information.
We were told that at St. Joseph's 300 by 80 and maybe you for president years ago. Yeah, you state names.
Oh, I do that all the time. Yeah, yeah.
But if you, it asks you questions like your pet's
Oh, yeah.
name, you gotta be consistent.
No, I don't be consistent. I have a password manager and I put it in the password manager.
You count on your password.
I count on my password manager. Right, right. You know, if it asks me for a pet's name, I won't put a pet's name. A lot of times, okay, pet's name, all right, yellow fever or something like that, you know, whatever, something, anything out of the ordinary. Or, you know, what was the date of your first marriage? Okay, Brooklyn, New York. Because anybody who's trying to break in and get that answer is going to put in a name or a city or whatever instead of what I put in. I put in the opposite of what it's asking me for. You know, if it asks me for a city, I'll put in a color or something like that because.
So in my password book, I have
Yes.
some of these, like the old limited store. Should I try to go find them and delete that information?
If you want, yeah, if you think you're never going to use that again, it's kind of hard to delete an account. Some companies don't make it easy. But you know, if you want to make it secure, just go in and change the password to something really, really long. And you know,
Is it LinkedIn? Is that the one that is?
LinkedIn is the kind of professional.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somehow, when they first started, I signed up for that.
Okay.
But I don't use it because it's not appropriate to me.
Right, not anymore. But if chances are something like LinkedIn, you put a lot of your own personal, real information in there. So yes, I would go in and either delete the account or change the personal information to something stupid, or even change the password to something really, really long and complicated. You know, a bunch of random letters and numbers.
Like, I heard, a lot of times they'll ask you your mother's maiden name. That
Oh,
used
yeah.
to be a common one.
Right.
And you can go on genealogy.
And that's why I never use the real
You can go
stuff.
on
Exactly.
genealogy and look
Yep,
up
yep.
somebody's,
Mm-hmm.
especially back just to a parent or
Yes,
something.
yes, yes.
And there goes your security.
Right, right. So I don't put anything that's pertinent to me in those secret questions. I always, and a lot of times what I do in the secret questions is I'll put spaces in the answer because I think, I don't know any hackers, so I don't think, I mean, I'm guessing that a lot of times they're going to try dictionary attacks or something like that and to these security questions and just put in single words. Whereas if I put spaces in the answers to secret questions, it gives me a more secure feeling that, okay, not a random dictionary attack is not going to use a couple different words, at least not in my opinion. So, you know, maybe I'm being naive, but I think that helps is to put spaces there.
Write a program now to search for a password.
Mm.
And it'll just go and try every combination,
Well, that's what I mean. Right.
And then stop if it
Yeah,
thinks it found the right.
right. But usually,
You don't even have to do it.
right. But usually those kind of attacks, again, are using just single words or single strings, if you will, not with
Could
spaces.
you put a password as a phrase?
Oh, yeah. Well, no.
Or some places.
No, that's the thing. You can't use a password that has spaces, but security questions, you can put whatever you want.
Okay.
So that's where I go crazy. But passwords, no spaces allowed. So that's why the length matters in those things. Length and complexity, special characters is more, length is the best factor in all those. For passwords anyway. And what happens is that they're not really on a site that they keep trying a different password. A lot of times when these breaches happen, they get a list of all the passwords and what they're called is hashed. They're encrypted, but the string is downloaded. So it says, you know, margie@gmail.com. The password is xyz, blah, 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 blah. And that's the encrypted password that she created. Doesn't know what the password is, but it matches on that encryption. So when she types in her password, if it matches that string, she gets in. So what the hackers do is they run what Sandy said is these dictionary attacks or computer attacks, and it goes through zillions of gyrations of different passwords and encrypts them. And then it takes that string and says, okay, does that match the gobbledygook that I got from gmail.com when I broke into Gmail? And if it does, then they know what the password is because they know what password they use to make that coded list or that coded word. Does that make sense? I'm not probably.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So can we wait? I
Go
read
ahead.
somewhere that Europe is doing much better job on this than we are. I mean,
Europe?
years back, yeah,
What in what regard? What
in security for us. And can we write our Congress people and what would we ask them to?
well, that's just it. I don't know what you mean by what would you have them do? Or
I don't
what?
know, that's what
Okay. Well,
makes the laws to protect me, but I don't know what that is.
well, I don't know that there's anything they can do to protect you. The best thing you can do is, first of all, to use fake stuff when you sign up for stuff. Obviously, if you're going to sign up for a doctor's office or whatever, okay, can't do that. But when I talked about security questions, okay, what's your cat's name? Don't put your cat's name. You know, don't put stuff that's real.
Favorite cat has his own Facebook page.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, right. But yeah, you use fake stuff when you set up security questions, because that's a lot of times where people will go in, they'll know your email address and they'll say forgot password, and then they get the security question and it says, you know, what's your son's name? Okay, oh, I know him. I looked him up on Facebook and put it in there, and they're in. So no, don't put real information in there. That's one thing. Passwords, long password, as long as you can do it. that helps. Okay.
So Mickey,
Yes.
my question would be, like I use my iPad
Uh-huh.
and when I seen some of these passkeys,
Yeah.
they're so long and complicated. I can't imagine. I wonder if they change them each time.
You're talking about passkeys and you're talking about
Passkeys.
using, well, passkeys are different than passwords.
Right. Because when I started using my iPad, I would use my passwords.
Okay.
Well, now they look at my face and
Oh.
I've seen some of these passkeys. And they're complicated. I wonder if they change them.
Like where they do almost gobbledygook. It looks
Well,
like.
again, a passkey is not what you're thinking of.
That's what it calls.
The long string is when they first set up a passkey. You'll get either that long string or a QR code or something you scan into your passkey application, and then from there on, your site that you tried to go into and that passkey authenticator are linked. So anytime you sign into your that site, it will send a code to that passkey authenticator, and you just type in the code that's listed to the.
You get in your text.
But it's not a long code.
No, but what I'm
Right,
saying is,
okay.
for some reason, I've seen that as my password, I see all these numbers.
Well, again, that's nothing that I know of. There's the only time that there's a really, really long string is when you first set up a relationship between an authenticator program and a site. If you're using a passkey, they send you that first instance to the link your authentication program to that site, so that from then on, that authentication program can get the codes from
That's it.
from your site. So I don't know what you're saying about long passwords, but what was the
I
point
have
of
to
your
get my
question?
phone and take a picture.
Okay, what was the?
When I go on my tablet,
Uh-huh.
okay, when I go on my iPad,
Uh-huh.
when I go on there and I type something, and it'll say, do you want to use your passkey?
Oh, okay.
And so, of course,
Okay.
and then when I see it, I just see all these long.
Okay, so that sounds like it's trying to set up a passkey for you for the first time, which you probably
I
haven't.
always hit that.
It sounds like you haven't done it, and it keeps saying, "Do you want to do it?" And it's waiting for you to do it, and you don't do it. So the next time you log on, it says the same thing. Right, that's the initial setup between the linking between the site and your authentication program, which sounds like you don't have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like on my iPad, I think I've got it. It'll ask you at one point, do you want to use biometrics, which is your finger
that's-
or your face?
Right.
Something like that.
Yes.
And I've got my finger or a code. You know how you rub your over the 9 dots.
That's a pattern.
Pattern. So it'll take either of those two. So if my finger's cold and won't read,
Right.
I can do the pattern.
I did
I just was at the
think. Here.
You'd think they'd be able to. They keep changing their passwords, and what they want and how they work and what other options are, and it seems like none of them are the right
There's so
magic.
much inconsistency.
Yeah, everybody's adopting something different.
Right.
Just like for cars. Well, this is not gonna work on your Chevy.
No.
Computers, Apple's is their own little world and PCs are theirs.
I thought I put something in here about you guys talking about using biometrics. I guess I didn't put it online. I just read an article recently about what to do when you're traveling abroad and returning to the United States, or because if you have biometrics enabled, the border authorities can force you to open up your phone, tablet, whatever that uses that. Whereas if you have a password or something, they can't do that. So you got to be careful.
Well, robbers can knock you out or kill you.
Exactly.
Take your finger.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, that's another reason I don't like. Plus, I don't trust the thing that it can detect my fingerprint as opposed to somebody else's with any accuracy. I'm just not convinced that it can do that. So
Detective shows
Hollywood.
The dead
Yeah.
person's on the ground and they hold their
Yeah.
phone up to their face.
Yeah, that can happen, yeah,
And can get into their phone.
right,
And it might be the police supposedly, trying to see who the victim is.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Thanks.
I'm concerned because of saying, if I put my voice out there,
Yeah,
and take my voice and do a lot of things with it,
yeah,
can they do the same with my face?
a lot of times, yes, a lot of
I
times,
think so.
yes, so again, that's,
Looks at me.
Like they say the eyes and things on the case in or Arizona where the grandmother's missing,
oh, okay,
and they got just the person in the mask. Surely you saw that on the news.
I thought,
But they said they probably can reconstruct.
but the thing is,
The
the eyes
person-
are, not everybody has the same looking eyes. Those eyes were distinct.
Yeah, I thought so too, and the eyebrows. Somebody said that looked like woman's, they're all this, but if they take computers and take a little time,
Yeah,
They
now
can
you gotta
do-
be thinking.
they can do it amazing.
I can't take my tablet with me when I go traveling.
You don't trust it.
It'll tell on me.
Okay, let's try one more scam thing here as the time's going by. Instead of talking about dead people and passwords.
This is kind of something I've talked about, but we want to do that, or we.
See, why you should never speak first. 3 seconds
Want to
silent.
do that?
Yeah, whatever you said.
Okay, let's try that.
Yeah, I've heard that.
From food-grade lubricants to LED lighting and every product in between, all in one place.
You ever answer your phone in just silence? It's not a bad connection. It's actually a trap. Today, we're going to break down a really simple but incredibly dangerous phone scam, and I'm going to give you one powerful rule that will help you beat it every single time. So, let's get into it. You know, it's a habit for pretty much all of us. We answer the phone and say, hello. But what if I told you that simple, polite greeting is the exact thing scammers are hoping you'll do? This is the big question we're going to answer today, and honestly, it might change the way you answer your phone forever. So picture this. You're just going about your day and your phone starts buzzing. You glance down and you don't recognize the number. Could be anyone, right? A delivery, maybe the doctor's office, or, something else. You figure, what the heck, and decide to answer it. You say, hello, and you get nothing, just dead air, for 1, 2, 3 seconds. And then a voice finally clicks in. Well, that silence, that wasn't an accident. That's the scam starting. So what is actually happening in those 3 seconds? Let's pull back the curtain and look at how a simple word like yes can be turned against you. That awkward pause has a name. It's called robocall connection lag. See, scammers use these automated systems that dial hundreds of numbers a minute. The system only bothers connecting you to a live person after it detects a voice on your end. And that connection, it takes about 2 or 3 seconds. Your hello is literally the trigger that starts the whole thing. The whole process is this carefully laid out trap. It starts with a robocaller just blasting out calls. When you talk, you activate the connection, which causes that telltale silence. Then the live scammer comes on with a question that sounds totally innocent. Can you hear me? That's the bait. Our natural response, of course, is to say yes. And just like that, boom, they've captured a recording of your voice saying yes. And here's the really scary part. That recording of you saying yes becomes a weapon. It's basically a fraudulent voice signature. Scammers can then take that little audio clip of you and splice it into other recordings. They make it sound like you're agreeing to anything and everything, authorizing credit card charges, signing up for expensive subscriptions, all under the cover of a so-called verbal agreement. And believe me, this isn't just a theory. This happens to real people. Take Margaret, a 72-year-old from Ohio. She did exactly what we all do. She answered, said hello, heard the silence, and when they asked, can you hear me? She just said yes. 2 weeks later, she's fighting a recurring charge for almost $300. And the company? They claimed they had her verbal consent, and they had the recording to prove it. Okay, so that sounds terrifying, but the good news is the defense against it is shockingly simple. It all comes down to one golden rule that builds your entire defense. This is it. This is the number you need to burn into your memory. 3. The 3-second silence rule. This little trick is your shield. When you answer an unknown number, you just say nothing. You just wait for 3 seconds. Look at how clear this is. If you speak, the system detects your voice. The scam begins. But if you stay silent, the robocall system doesn't hear a thing. It just assumes it's a deadline or an answering machine, marks the call as unanswered, and hangs up. It might even take your number off its list. You literally defeat the machine before you even have to talk to a human scammer. All right, so the 3-second rule is our foundation. Now let's build a complete protocol on top of it so you know exactly how to handle any suspicious call that comes your way. Here's your 4-step playbook. Step 1. Answer, but say nothing. Don't give them that hello they're waiting for. Step 2, wait out those crucial 3 seconds. A real person will get confused and say something like, hello, are you there? A robocall system will either hang up or connect you to the scammer. Now, if you then hear that classic question, can you hear me? You move to step 3. You do not use a one-word answer. Instead, go to step 4 and you take control. Ask a full question like, who is this? Or who am I speaking with? You just have to train yourself to spot these red flags. That initial silence is your biggest clue. The can you hear me question is the classic setup. Also, be really wary of caller ID spoofing. That's where scammers make the number look like it's from your area code. And of course, if anyone tries to create panic, this is the IRS, your social security is suspended, it's almost definitely a scam. Just hang up. And remember, it is not just the word yes that they're after. Scammers can edit any simple affirmation. So you want to avoid saying sure, okay, or I agree. Force yourself to respond in full sentences. Instead of yes, say something like, I can hear you just fine. That gives them absolutely nothing they can misuse. Okay, but what if you slip up? We're all human, right? You answer the phone on autopilot, you say yes, and then your stomach just drops. First of all, don't panic. There is an action plan for this exact situation. If you think you might have been compromised, do these things right away. First, call your bank and your credit card companies. Let them know what happened so they can put a watch on your accounts. Second, you need to monitor your own statements like a hawk. Check them daily for a few weeks. Third, think about using a free service like Credit Karma to get alerts if any new accounts are opened in your name. And finally, report the call to the FTC. It actually helps the authorities build cases against these operations. The goal here, the whole point, is to turn this knowledge into an automatic habit, a reflex that protects you without you even having to think about it. So let's lock in the key takeaways. 1, that 3-second silence is your shield. Use it. 2, never ever use simple affirmation words. Don't give them a yes they can steal. 3, take control of the conversation by asking questions and making them identify themselves. And 4, trust your gut. If a call feels weird or suspicious, it is. Just hang up. You owe a scammer nothing. Now, I want you to just think for a second. Who in your life is the most likely to answer the phone with a friendly, polite hello? A parent, maybe? A grandparent? A friend? See, these scammers, they prey on politeness. They specifically target people who are naturally trusting. The simplest habits are often the most powerful ones. That small pause, just 3 seconds of silence, it's a digital shield. It costs you nothing, but it could save you and the people you care about thousands of dollars and a ton of stress. Make it your habit. And please, share it with them. Stay silent and stay safe.
That it? We would do something else?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I've heard that.
That's what I would do all the time.
Yeah, I usually, if I answer,
Yeah,
I just sit and listen.
I do that sometimes.
And 9 times out of 10, it's they want to look at my social security benefits with me over and over and over again.
Cleveland Clinic has a habit of, you've got so many numbers, you never know which one is your doctor. So
And
I went for voicemail. They can leave me voicemail.
Well, and I have a habit of not listening to voicemail.
Oh,
So I think I've got it set up now with a service that my cell phone provider is supposed to have, where it'll record. It translates it to a voice, so I listen.
Oh,
And 9 times, all of them that I erased the other day were these, we wanna look at yours. Social security benefits with you, we can give you a better
I've never
deal.
gotten that.
Over and over. and
Never
over.
gotten that. But they also, Cleveland Clinic will text you.
Oh, well.
Yeah, they send you a text saying, I'm trying to get a hold of you.
I asked the one time the doctor's office, I said, well, so when you call me back, it'll be on this number? And they said, no,
No, they got so many numbers.
no, so you don't know what number it'll come back
Yeah.
on. So how can
My
I,
husband and I.
that in my address book?
We don't answer call. If they leave voicemail, then we react to that. Or text.
It's crazy world.
yeah.
Somebody had an article in one of the newspapers this week. I read them online and they talked about, when you were growing up and you had a phone in your house. And then first it was a shared line, party line.
Oh, I remember those.
And all those things. And then, when the phone rang, everybody, I'll call, someone's calling us, you're excited, and who is it? And of course you want that call, and how things have changed.
Oh, my God.
Now you carry your phone with you and.
I put a phone line in not too long ago. Cause my husband never knows where his phone is, usually it's in the car. And I says, I'm paying this, you better answer one of them.
Crazy times, Simon.
It is. I wanted to ask you, Sandy, who's your cell phone service?
Well, I'm on my daughter's plan, and she'll change it like every year or two. And she just took us to AT&T.
Okay, so do I, through my daughter.
Okay. They give a good deal, we'll give you new phones if you
That's the key.
continue this with us for 2 years or something.
That's really the key. They want the new phones, because those aren't the cheapest plans, but they always want the new phones, so they go with the providers that charge more per month.
If you still.
Yeah, but you still end up losing money because they charge more per month than if you were going to one of the low cost providers. So
My after reading question was, my phone is not taking a charge.
uh-oh.
I think it needs replaced.
Sounds like it. We can check it.
It lasts about 2 years, and then the battery stops
Yeah.
holding it, shorter and shorter.
My daughter went through AT&T because she had been on Sprint for over 20 years.
Oh.
And she didn't have a choice.
What?
So she just moved over to AT&T.
Why didn't she have a choice?
But, we've been talking about it. I told her, my husband's phone is on consumer.
I hear a lot of people like that.
Oh, my God, they do great
I
customer
hear
service.
They're okay, but they're still not the cheapest.
AARP is consumer, I think.
Who?
AARP.
Oh, yeah, AARP has a deal with consumer, and you get a little bit of discount if you're with AARP.
That discount is monthly. It's like
Right.
20 cents. or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. But my point is, it's one of the okay ones. It's not as bad as one of the biggies like AT&T and Sprint and Verizon, but it's not as good as the low cost providers like Tello or Mint or anything like that. So
How about Mint?
I love Mint.
You like Mint?
Oh yeah,
Who do you have?
Mint Mobile.
MINT.
Yes, mintmobile.com, and
It has a cute,
well, I have
What's his name?
oh, well, what's his name?
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds. He's the owner of Mint Mobile, but I was with them even before he bought it. But they
He sold it, but he's agreed to
no,
stay on
he
as
didn't
his
sell it.
spokesman.
He did well. Mint merged with T-Mobile. That's what it was. And yeah, so Ryan.
That's significant.
Yeah, but anyway, Mint Mobile is, I pay about $17, including all the junk fees, but I pay by the year, so it costs me about $201 a year. For a whole year of service, I get 5 gig of data and unlimited calls, text.
And you go online with your phone?
When I have to, but most of the time it's connected to Wi-Fi because I'm around Wi-Fi.
I'm on mine all day.
Yeah,
On your Wi-Fi?
but you have unlimited with Verizon, right?
Yeah.
Or AT&T
Or
now.
whoever.
Yeah, because your daughter pays for unlimited. I don't want to.
That's why I'm asking.
Mint has.
What kind of burden I'm putting on my daughter?
Well, Mint has an unlimited plan, but it's more money. I'm the guy who I'd rather use my phone because I don't like using the little dinky phone. I want to be able to see it. So I use my phone as little as possible online, but except when I'm out traveling. Most of the time I use it through Wi-Fi, and it doesn't, take away any of my data to use it on Wi-Fi. So I just use the base plan of $15 a month and 5 gig of internet from Mint. So yeah.
Well, we've got 3 teenagers on the family plan I'm on, so we had to have.
Yeah, unlimited and yeah.
I was telling my daughter about consumer, because my son's gonna be 60 this month.
Oh,
My daughter's
wow.
58.
Wow.
They're eligible.
Well, do you have to be older? Or are you talking about to get the ARP discount?
No, I'm just talking, I don't know about consumer.
Yeah, anybody can do consumer as far as I know.
But I was telling her about that because I know it's not easy.
Well, is there anything else we wanna
I don't think
wrap
so.
up our
We're gonna
meeting?
shut the meeting down and
Next month we'll probably talk about the things I wanted to say about Tech for Senior and what
Oh,
it has to offer.
we didn't talk one thing about Tech for Senior.
Well, we'll talk next month.
Okay.
Because they have a lot to offer us as users that don't cost anything and I think are really useful. And we use a lot of their material in our meetings when we're not
Right.
branched off into something irrelevant.
Don, you,
Anybody-
use Sandy and I, that's it, we're done.
What'd you say?
Use Sandy and I.
Sandy and I dismissed the meeting or voted or
Right.
whatever we do
Right. Okay,
All right.
for your minutes.
yep,
So
All right.
we'll be back on the second Thursday of next month.
right,
And unless something more exciting has come along, we'll talk about the tech for senior services.
yes.
And we'll see how we want to plan another lunch get together in the spring maybe,
Oh, yeah.
because they seem to be popular. We get more people to eat than we do to
I'll be there.
come out to the meeting. But let us know if you have anything you'd like to talk about. In the meantime,
all righty, shut the meeting down. Bye, guys, thanks
For
for,
now.
Thank you very much.
bye.
thank
Good
you
show.
for coming,
Thank you.
showing up.
Bye-bye.